Hello, my beautiful, beautiful friend. Have you been feeling the overwhelm? Have you been feeling just down in the dumps, hot mess mom, out of control kind of life? Let me talk to you. I've been a mess. I've been depressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been to the bottom of the pits. I almost ended my life because, quote, motherhood got to be too much. But I realized a few things. For one, home management is not equivalent to motherhood. You can suck at one while excelling at the other. Okay, girl, I already had everything I needed to see the good in life in order to succeed, in order to thrive and find absolute joy, and so do you. You can be the calm in the storm. You can set the energetic tone for those around you, for your entire household. You hold more power than you've ever realized. You don't have to do anything. You get to. It is your privilege. It's an honor. It's a divine responsibility to be the queen of your home. It's not a burden. You're in charge. You're the ruler. You're the chaos coordinator. You're in control of how you show up in your own life, and you are the main character of your own story. You are surrounded by abundant blessings, not buried in burdens. You are in the exact right place, mama. You're the exact right mom for your kids. It's not a mistake that you were put together on this planet. Of all the moms across all time and space, it's your destiny, your legacy to be with that child. You have to stop. We have to stop this mommy martyrdom narrative. Misery loves its company, but so does excitement and joy. So let's get excited about motherhood again, about life. It's time for more than survival mode. It's time to rise. It's time to thrive. It's time for you to believe to your core that you are meant to bloom. Welcome back, my friend. I love that you're here. I have to share with you what will likely become a series. This is books that changed me. These are the books that helped me heal my broken, hot mess mom life. I originally was going to do this as one podcast, but my list kept growing. So I'm just going to cover 3 books today that specifically, they challenged me and they grew me in the area of love, compassion, and rest. Okay, I'm going to read to you a little bit about these books and tell you specifically like how they really helped me, and I'll link them all below. But first up is The Kindness Method. This is one of those books where I had a Barnes & Noble gift card and I'm just browsing and I came across it. I'd never heard of it before, never heard of the author. I'm not even sure I'm saying her name correctly. It's Shahroo Izadi. This is The Kindness Method. Okay, what The Kindness Method did for me was it helped me to see that my unhelpful habits, all these habits that I was stuck in that kept me like really getting depressed when the depression came in, the things that were just destroying my life, like just the way I was living every day, not being the way I really wanted to live, those unhelpful habits, this book helped me see those as addictions, and it helped me overcome them with compassion and self-love. This was a big deal because all of the exposure I'd had to like addiction from other people in life, it seemed like so shameful to be addicted to anything. And overcoming the addiction always felt like it had to be this abrupt, painful thing. And that, it was always clouded with shame and judgment. And it was gross. I didn't even want to confront addiction in my life because it felt gross and I thought it meant I was gross. And I mean, I've had legit addictions. And breaking up with those is very much the same as breaking the bad habits I had. I was addicted to not taking care of myself. I was addicted to these negative thoughts about myself that kept me stuck. They kept me tearing myself down. They kept me sabotaging my own life. And I mean, some of these were simple habits that are just classic of a depressive episode. The skipping showers, not brushing your teeth, just not caring for yourself, not drinking enough water, not eating food that was nourishing to me, not sleeping well. I mean, I was addicted to those behaviors, but I was also addicted to the thoughts that led me to the unworthiness of caring for myself on a basic level. And Sharu Izadi, in The Kindness Method, this book helped me work through why I was engaging in the behaviors I was engaging in, what was at the root of these, and it really helped me. It really did. When I tell you that love and grace are the root of healing and growth, this book is probably what planted the seed to that belief. Okay? So let me just read to you, like, the tagline on this is change your habits for good using self-compassion and understanding. Okay? Let me just read to you a little bit about, let me read you the back cover. Yeah, the back cover is the best cover. Yeah. The kindness method isn't only about isolating and changing specific habits. It is about working toward creating a life on purpose and of purpose that excites you. Come on, you want this. Sharu Izadi has a revolutionary message. Treating yourself kindly is the only way to make changes that last. Self-compassion and self-understanding are the keys to transforming your life. Combining her own therapeutic style, personal experiences, and techniques learned from working in the field of substance abuse, she shares simple steps that strengthen your willpower like a muscle, allowing you to sustain your motivation and make lasting change in your life. The author's completely non-judgmental process for mapping and channeling your habits is based on the principle of treating yourself with the compassion and understanding that is often reserved only for other people. Whether your concerns range from procrastination to issues of body image, this method works for creating a custom plan mapped by you, for you, and driven by self-motivation. Come on. I mean, I read this book like maybe 2 years ago, I think. Maybe even 3. 2. Probably 2. I read this book a couple years ago. Exactly when does not matter. But going back and looking at it and flipping through it, I'm realizing how much of the teachings from this book have like formed my methods of how I overcome the negative thoughts, how I help others work through your struggles, your hurdles, your setbacks. This book was foundational to creating who I am as a mom life mentor, life coach, whatever we're going to call me. My message very much was founded on the principles that I read through in this book. And you're going to find that as I'm reading you through the next dozen books that I'm going to talk about over the course of I don't know how long. But when I mention these books and I tell you what I learned from them, you're going to see like, oh, you talk about that all the time. Yeah, I learned it somewhere. I didn't come up with everything on my own. I'd be a total quack if I did. Moving on to book number 2. This one is sticky. That's gross. The cover is not. All right, cool. Okay, anyways. Rhythms of Renewal by Rebekah Lyons. This one was one that I don't remember where it was recommended to me from. I think it might have just like fallen into my Amazon like recommendations or whatever. But it's trading stress and anxiety for a life of peace and purpose. That has very much seeped into my teachings. Yes, this was foundational for me. This one taught me just how foundational that rest is to a productive and like well-lived life. Stress is the new cigarette. That is something I have heard and learned, and I totally agree. Stress is the new cigarette. We are addicted to stress. Rest, it feels really uncomfortable to rest. And having this book, it helped me to quit that addiction to stress with grace and rest. This one is, Rebekah Lyons is a Christian teacher. Like all of the recommendations on the back are like Sadie Robertson and Candace Cameron Bure. But anyways, so you can be rescued daily from worry, stress, and anxiety. This is the inner flap that I'm going to read to you so you know like what this book is like according to the publishers and not just taking my word for it. How do we receive God's generous peace when stress haunts our daily thoughts? Now more than ever, it appears our society is caught in the throes of a collective panic attack. Okay, I have to stop there and laugh because this book is from 2019 and it's like caught in a collective panic attack. Oh, Rebekah, we had no idea yet. This book predates COVID. So yeah, but it's all the more necessary now, right? We are all still healing from that trauma. 77% of our population experiences symptoms of stress, which is probably more at this point, while depression and loneliness are on the rise. Oh, big time. We worry about careers, health, politics, being enough, and keeping up, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Beloved author and popular speaker Rebekah Lyons shares her experience with overcoming anxiety and welcomes you into an intentional, lifelong journey towards sustained health. In 4 life-giving rhythms, rest, restore, connect, and create, you'll discover how to take charge of your emotional health and inspire your loved ones to do the same. Clearly, this inspired me. Overcome anxiety by establishing daily habits that keep you mentally and physically strong. Find joy through restored relationships in your family and community. Walk in confidence with the unique gifts you have to offer the world. Come on, friend. Oh, this book is just, it really was fascinating. And this one took me a few times to get through. Like I kept starting it and then getting distracted, and it felt so good to finish it and to really get through this one. But flipping through it, you definitely taking inventory. Oh, doing a tech detox. I need that one again. Big time. That's like lesson 2. Chapter 2 is a tech detox. I think I might not be on Instagram for a little while. I mean, I've been cautious to say that because I've been feeling it for a long time. And I'm like, I don't want to say I'm not going to be on Instagram and then have everybody catch me on Instagram. But, you know, be honest, authentic. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I might not be on there too often anymore. Yeah, I mentioned in another episode recently that my Instagram, like, posting strategy was not feeling fun and exciting. It was feeling like a lot of work and stressful. So I'll still show up in my stories. I'm still in my DMs. I'll still talk to you. But I'm trying not to spend a ton of time on there. Okay, moving on. That's your tidbit from Rhythms of Renewal. Everybody Always. This book, Bob Goff, he is a godsend, a literal godsend, Bob Goff, in the book Everybody Always. I don't know who I'd be if I hadn't read this book. I don't know that any of the other books, any of the other teachings in personal growth would mean anything if I had not read this book. Okay? Everybody Always by Bob Goff. This book challenged my soul and it like shook my personality. I didn't realize that I was a hateful a-hole until I read this book and saw what love your neighbor really looks like. I mean, this book, it's so foundational to what I teach now. Loving people and having compassion for others and understanding. And who would I be if this book hadn't touched my soul? My goodness. I pray that I can be a catalyst in someone's life the way that Bob Goff touches lives. That's the dream. Becoming love in a world full of setbacks and difficult people. Let's read the back. In his entertaining and inspiring follow-up to the New York Times best-selling phenomenon Love Does, which I have not read yet, skip straight to the sequel. Bob Goff takes readers on a journey into the secret of living without fear, constraint, or worry. The path toward the liberated existence we all long for is found in a truth as simple to say as it is hard to do. Love people, even the difficult ones, without distinction and without limits. Driven by Bob's trademark storytelling, Everybody Always reveals the lessons Bob learned, often the hard way, about what it means to love without inhibition, insecurity, or restriction. From finding the right friends to discovering the upside of failing, Everybody Always points the way to embodying love by doing the unexpected, the intimidating, the seemingly impossible. Whether losing your shoes while skydiving solo or befriending a Ugandan witch doctor, Bob steps into life with a no-limits embrace of others that is as infectious as it is extraordinarily ordinary. Everybody always reveals how we can do the same. Guys, if there's like any black spots on your heart, if there's judgment for others in any way, this book, Everybody Always, it's going to shake you. It's going to change you. And man, it's going to wake you up to who you really are and who you're really meant to be as far as being a loving person in an unloving world. We need more people who read this book, who live this book, honestly. Those are the 3 books I have for you, the ones that have really brought love to my awareness. They've really taught me compassion and love and grace for myself and for others in so many different ways. If you've read any of these books, let me know. I want to know what you think about them. Tag me on Instagram if you're reading these books at Britt Clarkson. I know I said I'm trying not to be on Instagram all the time, but if you're on there, I'll be on there. Let's, if we're both going to be in the tech world, if we're both going to be on Instagram, let's be talking to each other, you know? Let's be building community there instead of wasting time watching every reel in existence endlessly. Okay? I love you, my friend. I really do. And I'm so glad I have the capacity to sit here and say I love you and to truly, truly mean it. Everything is linked in the description below. And yes, they are affiliate links. I'm going to make a penny every time you buy one. I love you, friend. Thank you. Bye. And thank you so much for listening to this episode today. Your involvement and your encouragement is so loved and appreciated. If you wouldn't mind doing one or all of the following tiny little favors for me, I would so, so greatly appreciate it. Okay, 1, if you could make sure that you hit the follow button so you don't miss another episode, that's going to benefit you just as much as it does me, maybe more. Number 2, if you could leave me a review down below, especially if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, that would be so appreciated. Literally, I cry over the reviews that I read. I love them so much. It makes me feel so deeply connected to you, and it helps others find my show by recommending it to new listeners every day. And number 3, be bold, be brave, don't be stingy. When you know something, it's your responsibility to share it with a friend. So make it easy, share this episode with a friend, and if you choose to share it on Instagram, can you please tag me, because I would so love to get connected and to see it, at Britt Clarkson. All right, thanks, friend. Love you so much. Till next time.